Silence. My name is Werner Puchert, and this is Finding Frequency. So plans. Plans are made to be changed, and that's what happened today. So we are in the countryside. We left Warsaw earlier today, packed the car, packed all the gear. I'm kind of proud of Marta. We annoyed each other, of course, for most of the last couple of days, trying to pack as lightly as possible. So we have 2 watertight bags full of gear. One is clothes, the other one is camping gear or sleeping bags, and then 2 backpacks and a big paddleboard. And that was our gear for the camping trip with Francie. So the idea is to then from here, our little countryside house, to go out and then rent a kayak and then stay out for at least 2 days. Now those plans have changed, and I'm actually kind of happy for that, because also as we were traveling towards Brodnica today, Marta and I were starting to really get into the details of our trip, and then I started realizing that a lot of our trip was actually going to happen on lakes, not rivers. Now, if you listen to a few episodes before, there's a beautiful area here in Poland, and arguably one of my favorite places to go in Poland. And in fact, I hope to get there before the end of the season. Kruten, we've been there, I think, twice this year. Beautiful small little estuaries, rivers, and really you get in a kayak and you kind of flow down the river. If you fall out the kayak, it's it can be waist deep, can be like knee deep. It's not very deep. You can see the bottom. There's animals, there's ducks, and it's just a very cool experience. Lakes, on the other hand, they are super beautiful, don't get me wrong, but the one thing that I'm a little bit nervous about is having a little 3-year-old in the boat. Of course, he'll have his little life jacket on, but then with all the gear, and then if something goes wrong and we capsize, it's going to be a little bit of a nightmare. And not that it can't be done, but I haven't done it before. I haven't prototyped or tested this situation, and I've been a bit nervous about it. But then it's funny how life works, because sometimes as you kind of work through things, opportunities knock, and we decided to grab it. So long story short, Marta went down to the lake with Francie today and ran into a neighbor who actually has a place down at the lake at the very edge, and she's got 2 kayaks, and she actually kindly offered us one of the kayaks to use. And what we're going to do is we're going to travel our lake tomorrow. So it's relatively big. There's a place to stop off and have lunch, and we're going to travel all around this lake for the whole day, then circle back towards this little spot at the river, and we will camp kind of in the shade of our country house down at the lake, have a little barbecue there, and Francie won't be the wiser, and Dad would be much more comfortable. But it will still be, like Francie calls it, a fire camping experience. So, and then the following day we'll wake up, swim in the lake, probably go out for another paddle and a little bit of an adventure. And then also one of Francie's little friends is here with his family, and then he gets to play with his mate for another day. And then we'll head off to Warsaw middle of the week. Also, we just checked the weather, and there's going to be apparently some storms on Tuesday. We'll see if that happens. So I think this plan is, in the end of the day, going to be much easier on the soul, and we'll still simulate this with all the gear we have, whatever. So perhaps if this works out the way we think it should, we could then take on something a little bit more advanced, maybe later on this year or next year. Let's see. So feeling much better, feeling positive. So yeah, so that is the story. Today we really just prepared, and Francie's super excited. Marta, I think, is also excited about this whole situation. And also it was really good to have a drive down to Brodnica today and just sit in a car and have a good conversation about the family and how we are worried about the father-in-law, and just general things. So it's a good time for Marta and I also to reconnect and we'll do so the next couple of days. And just an update on the father-in-law. It's weird to call him the father-in-law. It's Jurek. He's doing much better. He went in for a second operation a couple of days ago, and then yesterday the doctors mentioned that they are actually going to start waking him up, which for me is a positive sign. I mean, it's important that he gets the time to heal and sort himself out, but then also we want him to be conscious so that there's communication and we can reach out. And I don't know, for us, we feel better if he's conscious. So that's going to start happening next week. And perhaps also if we are not too deeply involved in a deep adventure, it also gives us the opportunity and flexibility to be able to move back to or go back to Warsaw if needed. Not that I think we'll be able to go see him due to the pandemic, but emotionally sometimes it's important to just be able to have that flexibility, and that's important for Marta, I think, at this stage. So I think everything is working out kind of nicely. And for now, I'm trying to think if I'm missing the extraordinary here. It's difficult to not mention how beautiful it looks. I'm peering over freshly cut farmlands. I don't know what they were growing here. I think it was grain or something. And that's now probably cut down, and they're going to prepare for the next crop. I wonder what that's going to be. It's just nice fresh air, and it's quiet. I don't know if you can hear the voices. In the distance, we can hear the neighbors. I see them sitting outside at the barbecue, quite far away, having a little bit of a chin wag and just a chill time. And then to the left of me, there's some guy tending a little patch of, I don't know what, he's growing over there, vegetables or something. Just watering it a little bit as it's cooling down now here in the evening. Cool, so let's see if I can get this uploaded through my phone. See if I am able to do a podcast completely remote with a little bit of a remote microphone. Part of the adventure. I wonder what the audio quality is going to be. Hopefully not too loud in your ears. And if you got this far, thanks for listening and take care.